Imagine the awe these new arrivals must have felt as the city's grand vista emerged above the waves. For many, New York's landscape was like nothing they had ever seen before. Finally, the lumbering steamships docked in New York City's bustling port, and passengers were checked by immigration officials before being allowed into the U.S. Prior to 1892, most immigrants passed through Castle Garden, a former military installation now located in Battery Park at the tip of Lower Manhattan. Over the years, it has served as a theater, an opera house, and an aquarium. It is now a National Park Service site known as Castle Clinton. When the federal government took over the processing of immigrants in the 1890s, a new receiving station was constructed on Ellis Island. By the beginning of the 20th century, thousands reached the island's shores every day. You will have the opportunity to learn much more about these immigrants and their experiences during your visit today.
So here we are at the 9/11 memorial. So obviously as a mark of respect, I won't show any of the people's names that sadly died on that horrific day. So let's have a look at the fountains.
Out of the way, huh? Oh, hey, watch it! We're coming up here! Hey, Bucky, you gonna ride that thing all day? Do something useful, will you? All right, we're coming up to the 80th floor. You're headed to the top of the Empire State Building right here in the heart of New York City.
What? Cool. This is cool.
No, es que más bien hace calor. Mucha boira.
Ay, Mari Carmen.
I think I'm going to use that. Yeah.
There you go, one for the Nuffield crew, Salesforce.
Déjà. Et tu limite, oui. Tu as un petit cornet.
Hello everyone, and here's my sort of thoughts about our trip to Las Vegas and New York. There were a few things that we had planned that didn't happen for one reason or another. Obviously my original plan was for me to do sort of a daily vlog and sort of go over sort of what's happened during that time of that day. That didn't happen either. Obviously I'll explain all in a second and reasons why that didn't happen. So obviously we had quite a few things planned for Vegas. So obviously you should be able to see from some of the photos that obviously Aerosmith, we did go to Aerosmith. Obviously we couldn't film in there, so obviously we could take a couple of photographs, but that was about as best as we could possibly get. I did have a few bad days while I was there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There were a couple of days in Vegas, probably about 3 days actually, where I was really bad. I'm really struggling to breathe, and everything was a real issue. So hence why I didn't vlog every day, sort of do daily sort of roundups and things like that, because it was just, you know, I was struggling as it was, just to try and obviously get through the day, let alone sort of take the time to do that. So I apologize. You know, I did say that this was going to be a, you know, like an experience from a disabled person's point of view, but it just got too much, you know, so I couldn't do that. So I apologize now. We were due to go to the Grand Canyon 2 days before we were due to go. The tour company contacted us to say that the transport, because we'd arranged for like a small like group, maybe about 15 of us, like in a smaller transport, to go instead of a big old sort of 52-seater coach. They contacted us to say that the vehicle wasn't going to be available, and that we'd have to get on the big coach. So we were like, well, that's not what we booked for. The price was going to still be the same. So we decided to cancel that. So we never got to go to the Grand Canyon. And the day that I was due to go to Area 51, again, it was one of my bad days, and I wasn't, you know, I could barely leave the hotel, let alone do anything else. So, you know, I didn't get to do that either. So yes, really disappointed. You know, there were two things that I really wanted to do, but you know, it means maybe we're going to have to go back to Vegas again at some point, even if it's just for like a 5-day trip, just so that we can get those two things done, and obviously anything else. We never, you know, there were quite a few, we didn't get to go downtown either. Fortunately, that was also on another bad day for me, so we never got to go downtown, so I didn't get to see Circa, you know, and obviously the other hotels down there. So I missed out on all my chips for down there. I didn't get to go to the Link Promenade either. That's just purely, I think, just because we ran out of time. So, so obviously that included the High Roller as well, so we didn't get to do that. So obviously moving on, you know, I just want to say Planet Hollywood, we stayed at the Planet Hollywood, and they were phenomenal. So when we arrived, as I said in my previous, you know, in the video that I did do at the start, you know, we checked in, and Sarah was really nice to the cashier lady, or the check-in lady, and sort of said, you know, why we were here, and, you know, was there any chance that we could have a sort of a fountain view of the Bellagio fountains. The woman couldn't have done enough for us. You know, we didn't have to do the $20 trick. We gave her money, you know, after she agreed, you know, to do it. There was no upgrade price or anything like that. So, you know, that was, you know, that was lovely. So, you know, sometimes being nice and friendly can work over slipping somebody a few quid. you know, to try and get an upgrade. Obviously, I had to get assistance through airports. So on the way out at Heathrow, they were really good. Did everything that they, you know, to assist me. Pretty much took me straight to the aircraft. Virgin managed to change my seats so that I could have an aisle seat, so I could have easy access to the toilets if need be and stuff like that. So thumbs up to Virgin Atlantic as well. They were really, you know, they were really helpful. Same at McCarran. The guys there sort of walked me pretty much straight through to the taxi rank. And then obviously on the return to when we went to New York, again, they were, you know, really helpful. So I can't fault them. They were brilliant. When we got to New York, again, I got assistance there. They were really friendly and helpful. You know, and the transport that we had, which took us to our hotel, you know, once we finally found him, it was smooth going. You know, it's probably about 40 minutes, 45 minutes from JFK to the hotel in Times Square. So not too bad, you know, and I did get some footage, obviously, which you'll see on this video. So that was really good. Internal flights. So we flew through Delta for our internal flights. They were possibly the worst flights I've ever had in my entire life. Absolutely shocking. Cabin crew were awful. No personality. You know, they didn't seem to really want to help you or anything like that. The only saving grace is that because it was an internal flight, they had live TV on the plane. So I got to watch a couple of the World Cup matches while I was on the plane, but that was really the only saving grace about flying with Delta. The other thing is, I would never ever book a holiday with Hays Travel again. They are absolutely useless. We booked our holiday. We booked this sort of back in sort of January last year. So, and we've had to do all the chasing. So they were shocking. They weren't very helpful. They cocked up our booking from day one. And whenever we wanted to like help with anything, they just palmed us off. So if you're in the UK and you are looking to potentially book a holiday, I would steer clear of Hays Travel, just purely because they're awful. You know, I've tried to reach out a couple of times. I did sort of comment on one of their Twitter feeds about them, you know, being this great travel agent. And I said it would be the worst thing that anybody could ever do. So they reached out to me and said, oh, can I let them know why I felt that way? And then somebody else butted in and said, don't bother. They'll just say you're lying or whatever. So, but I'm not going to get into that any more than that. So, you know, I will just leave it at that. So, you know, if you are thinking of booking a holiday, maybe book it directly with Virgin or BA. Don't bother with Hays Travel. Enough said. New York. So we stayed at the Edison Hotel, which is a really quaint hotel. The room was tiny. So compared to obviously what we had in Vegas, the room was really, really small. But, you know, it was nice. It was comfortable. You know, and we were literally 30 seconds from Times Square. So that is, you know, if you are looking to go to New York and stay in and around the Times Square area, that's a good shout to stay at the Edison. I had no issues with that hotel at all. So, you know, check it out. You know, always look up your TripAdvisor and stuff like that, see what people put. But yeah, I really enjoyed that hotel. So we did, obviously the boat trip to Liberty Island. Obviously saw the Statue of Liberty, went up the Empire State Building. That was interesting and a rather good experience. Got to get grabbed by King Kong, so that was quite fun. Went to the 9/11 memorial. I didn't want to film too much there because, you know, it is quite a somber area. People are trying to pay their respects to the people, you know, that sadly lost their lives on that horrific day. So I didn't want to film too much when we were there. We didn't get to go up Freedom Tower. We just ran out of time, so we didn't get to do that. I didn't go to Phantom. Sarah did. Sarah went to see Phantom the Opera on Broadway, but I didn't. I was so under the weather. That was the start of the horrendous cold, flu, chest infection situation that I had, which I'm still not over. I'm still recovering, and it's over 6-7 weeks later. So, but she said it was brilliant. It wasn't as good as the West End, but you know, she really enjoyed it. So you know, it's something she can tick off her bucket list to say she saw a show on the West End, and she felt safe walking the streets on her own at night. She said she felt more safe walking the streets there to the theatre than what she does at home. So, you know, what does that say for, you know, for things in New York? So, you know, obviously lots of police about and plenty of people out there on the streets. So Times Square, that was an experience in itself. We went to the Rockefeller Center, got completely lost, and we had a few issues with that. Got to flag a cab down as well off the street. So that's something I can say I ticked off my bucket list, because I've always wanted to sort of just literally whistle at a taxi in New York and flag that down. So that's what we did. And that's pretty much it. The only other issue we had was when we got home, got back to Heathrow, and the assistants there, because I was the only person that needed assistance off the aircraft when we got to the other end. They completely forgot about me. So Virgin had rung through and asked for somebody to come and get me, and 20 minutes later I'm still there waiting for somebody to come and get me. Sarah at this point had already walked on and was pretty much through immigration, and I'm still waiting to get picked up. So I lost my rag with the assistance people on the other end, and told him it wasn't acceptable that, you know, that I was left like that. So, you know, they got resolved, and they actually helped us all the way up to the car. So, because I think it's probably because I said a few choice words, but I'm, you know, please don't think that we didn't enjoy our holiday, because we certainly did. I would go back to New York again, maybe not at Christmas, because it is just chaos. It is chaos everywhere. You know, obviously we've got to see all the lights and all that sort of thing as well, but it was chaos. And Sarah's not sure whether she would go back again. We would go back to Vegas again, but it wouldn't be for a long trip. It would probably be 5 days maximum. And that's literally just to do things like the Grand Canyon, Area 51, you know, just to mop up all the things that we didn't get to do previously. And that would be only really if we ever got comped rooms. You know, we did spend a fair bit on gambling. You know, we're not high rollers, but we did spend a fair bit, and, you know, we won a fair bit as well. I think between us, we won, you know, it's not, you know, we're not talking about, you know, we're going to retire on what we've won, but, you know, I think between us, we won about $800, $900 between us. So, but, you know, we've not heard anything yet from the hotels, you know, offering us comp rooms and stuff like that. I hope they do, you know, and then we may consider going back for a short period of time, because then we've really only got a fork out for flights and obviously resort fees. But that's it. you know, I hope you enjoyed this video, or both of the videos. There are some other things coming up. I've just come back from Butlins for a music weekend down in Minehead, so we'll upload that soon. We're also off to Mexico in May, so hopefully that will be a better, you know, I'll be able to do that day per day on that one. Got some really cool things planned. Chichen Itza, I've already done that, but Sarah couldn't because she was unwell last time we went to Mexico. So, you know, we got a few things planned and stuff like that. So if you've stumbled across these videos and you want to, you know, subscribe, please consider doing so. You know, we will be uploading quite a few trips, you know, as and when we go away. You know, we do tend to go away quite a bit, and you know, I'd like, you know, to document them. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. You know, tell us, you know, have you been to New York, been to Vegas? What have you done? You know, what haven't you done? What would you like to do? Stuff like that. I'd really love to hear from you. So that's it for this video, or this series of videos. So all 2 of them. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to watch that. It is much appreciated. So thank you. And hopefully I will see you all very, very soon. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.